A very easy task for today because just some two new terms and a quick revision of the simple chemical cells we have learned before, which is made of metal electrode. First of all, two new terms, which is cathode and anode, and actually we have heard of it before. We should have heard of it already. So what is cathode? Cathode is the electroenriched reduction takes place. Okay, so for another one, anode, easy oxidation. We have been talking about redox reaction, and which will involves electron transfer. Because one of them will loses electron, oxidation will lose electron, and then reduction, the chemicals will gain electron. So there will be an electron flow from one chemical to another chemical. So we can get electrical energy in it through the chemical reaction, which we call redox reaction. Okay, so for easier to remember it, so we call it anodes, red cat. Okay, red cat, red for reduction. Okay, red cat. And anodes, okay, os, anodes. Okay, red cat and anodes. Okay, and red cat and anodes. Yes. Okay, so let's go back to the simple chemical cells we have learned before. So like this cell, which is made of copper and silver electrode, I think you know it already. The copper will lose its electron, so that copper will lose its electron, and the electron will pass through the external circuit and then go back to silver electrode. So there will be some electrons on the electrode, and which is negatively charged, and then it will attract the positively charged ion inside the acid. So inside sulfuric acid there is only one cation, which is hydrogen ion. So hydrogen ion will be attracted and gain electron, become hydrogen gas. So let's see what kind of reaction is taking place on the copper electrode. It's giving out electron. Okay, giving out electron. And do you still remember when electron is being given out, it's oxidation or reduction? If you forget, then I remind you again, oil rig. Remember, oxidation is losing electron, reduction is gaining electron, oil rig. So here copper is losing electron, copper is turning to copper 2 plus and 2 electron. The 2 electron will be transferred to the external circuit. So it is oxidation, and because of red cat and os, so it's anode. Okay, so for this one it's opposite, it's reduction and it's cathode. Okay, and I think you can do the overall ionic equation. So let's go back here. So for the negative electron, okay, for the negative electron, where the electron comes out, which is, so the electron is coming out from copper or silver, negative electron from chapter 28, we know that the place where electron comes out, right? So copper, because now the electron is coming out from copper, right, from copper electron, so copper is the negative electrode, and we can check that copper is losing electron. That means it's undergoing oxidation, so it's anode. Okay, so for a simple chemical battery, the negative electrode will be the anode, because oxidation is taking place there. Okay, and the opposite, here I'm not going to do it, so you will do it. And I highly recommend you to remember the definition of negative electrode or positive electrode and cathode and anode. Don't blindly memorize negative. So negative electrode equals to anode. I don't recommend you remember it like this, because in the next chapter you will learn another kind of cell which is called electrolytic cell, and it will be opposite. Okay, so you better remember the definition. Cathode is the place where a reduction takes place, and then you find out the half reaction which is taking place as the electrode, and then to find out whether it is oxidation or reduction, and then give the conclusion it is anode or cathode. Okay, so and then here for another example on the next page, the case will be a bit more difficult here, because when the electron comes to the copper electrode, there are more than one cation in copper 2 sulfate solution, hydrogen ion and copper 2 plus ion. So whether hydrogen ion or copper 2 plus ion will discharge, that means it will gain electron. Then we have to check the ECS. Okay, we have to check the ECS. For easier memorizing it, I separated to metals and non-metal. So we check here hydrogen ion and copper. Do you still remember the lower one is stronger or upper one is stronger? For metal, they are reducing agent, and the upper one will be a stronger reducing agent, right? So for oxidizing agent, it's opposite. So you can see that copper 2 plus or hydrogen ion is stronger. So copper 2 plus is lower, right? So the answer is copper 2 plus. So the half ionic equation should be copper 2 plus here. Okay? So for the rest of them, please complete it. Complete the table here, the first table here. Complete the table here, and complete the half ionic equation here and the table here, and this question. Okay, and submit it to me. And then next task we will go to another topic, which is not metal electrode, which will be inert electrode.